Hello again, YouTube. It's April 16th, 2012. This is Jesse from Third Party Ninjas, and I'm back with my second vlog update. So I've been working this week on the new platformer, and I've got some neat things in there. First of all, you can see I've got jumping. Yay for jumping. This is actually my third platformer that I've worked on. In the previous two, called Being and Bluebone's Curse, which are both on Xbox Indies, I was never fully happy with the way the characters jumped. I wanted variable height jumps, like in Super Mario Brothers, but in the other games, it kind of felt like the top of the jump when you let off the button was just too abrupt. It was kind of like you were hitting your head on an invisible ceiling. And I didn't like that very much. I spent a lot of time tweaking that code, and I wasn't ever really happy with it, so I just threw it out and rewrote it completely. And I'm really happy with what I've got here. It feels natural. It doesn't feel too much like the character is being lifted up by an invisible hand, which you sometimes get as the player holds down the button. And if you let off the button, the jump looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty fun to just run and jump around. Next, over here and to the right, you can see there's a little red or purplish box. And this is just a placeholder to represent some sort of collidable object in the world. This could be like a Goomba or like an enemy. You could just bounce off their head, boing. Or it could be like a trampoline. In Super Mario Brothers, you have those trampolines where if you held the button down, you sprung off really far. So mostly it's just in the video here so I could show where I was at in getting the collidable objects to work. So if you run into the side, it just keeps you away, and if you hit the top, it bounces you off. So that's pretty neat. Okay, so then the big thing that I got done this week that I'm really happy with is the new camera system, which you might notice as he's running around. But first, let me show you the old system. In both Being and Bluebone's Curse, the camera just followed the player, which you can see it just trails slowly after him, and it works okay. It looks pretty neat when you do a big jump like that. The problem is, and I really hate this, whenever you're standing on the ground and you jump, the ground shoots down off the screen almost. It makes it really hard if you're trying to land on something. Like, if it shoots off screen, how can you see what you're going to land on? And that was a major problem in Bluebone's Curse since the player was much bigger. You were zoomed in a lot further than this. I wasn't terribly happy with it. So I spent a lot of time researching how other games do it, and I found two awesome pieces of advice. On the development blog for an Android game called Replica Island, I came across this quote: "If you are ever at a loss about what to do when it comes to a 2D platformer design, refer back to Super Mario Brothers." And that seems like pretty sage advice to me. I really like that quote. And then I came across Sean Inman's blog for his game Mimeo, which sadly he's no longer working on. I guess he put that on hiatus. He has a great video where he analyzes the camera system in Super Mario World, which is my favorite Mario game. And then in the next video right after that, he shows off his implementation for something similar he built, and I'm particularly fond of the way that looks. In his blog, he writes, and I'm quoting here, "The ideal platformer camera should, 1, minimize vertical motion," which you can see I'm not doing, 2, lead in the direction the player is facing, which I'm also not doing, and 3, remain motionless during horizontal micro adjustments. Hey, I'm breaking all three of his rules. These seem like pretty great way to start out, so I've tried implementing a system like this on my own. I'm going to link in the show notes as if this is a real show. I'm going to link to his blog and videos, and you should check those out. But so here's my system. When you're running one direction, the camera is trying to lead in that direction, and so you can see it goes a little bit ahead and tries to keep up, zooms ahead. If you jump straight up and down, the camera doesn't adjust unless it needs to. As I run up and down the hill, you'll see that it adjusts a little bit to keep you on screen. As I jump up the hills, these little platforms, you can see that it scrolls vertically to keep you in frame. So it works pretty well. It does have a negative side effect that I've noticed, where if you go way too high, well, now I can't jump down and see where I'm going. So I'm thinking of some sort of hybrid system. In areas of the game where you have long vertical shafts, I think you'll just have like a region that you pass through, and it'll automatically switch between the two camera types. So this is sort of what it would look like. You'd come back down. Oh, I can see where I'm going. Yay! And as you fall back down, it switches to the leading camera. And I worked really hard in getting it to switch pretty gracefully. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yay! And so here's actually how it works. This is kind of neat. I can turn on my little guides here. On Sean Inman's blog, he refers to this window that you see on the left of my character as the trap, and I think he just means that he's trapping the character inside this window, so you can never really leave. I'm not trapping the whole character, just the center point. And then that second window is where the trap would like to be. So you can see now that I'm facing right, the trap wants to be on the left side of the screen, giving you plenty of lead to the right. And so as you move to the right, it zooms back in on where it thinks it should be. And of course, the only problem with this is that it doesn't do anything vertically, that's the problem I showed before. So I might tweak that a little bit, or I might just use the hybrid system, because that seems to work fairly well. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye, YouTube.